Hi everybody, welcome to the MoneyMan, Moneyboy Show. I got Zelim now, I got Ollie Keohane, and myself. We're just going to talk quickly about the Ben Askren Paul fight that's coming up.
Jake Paul?
Is there any difference? One of the Pauls.
I didn't register when you said Rue. I was like, I mean, it's crazy. Could be, might as well be.
Might as well
Maybe
be.
we can change it.
Yeah,
so every celebrity exhibition match, either way. So
okay, so Jake Paul. Sorry, guys. So we got Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. What I didn't know last week when I shot the video, which was really a rookie mistake, is that this is an 8-round fight. Makes it even more convinced that Askren wins this thing.
I agree.
I think if it goes beyond, Paul's got one chance, and it's to knock him out in the first round. If he doesn't do that, it goes to 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. The one thing that all fighters have is a plan B, or they've been in trouble in various fights, and you can't teach that. You can't buy that experience. Eh? So to celebrate the fact you knocked out an aging NBA star, not really, and you didn't draw against a YouTuber in the first fight?
I know he beat him.
I think he beat him, yeah.
But
this is 2-0.
regardless,
Yeah.
No, okay. Anyway.
Potato again.
Well, the fight went the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is you've got 2.30 odds on a fighter.
Yeah, it's 13 to 10.
Yeah.
They're the best Betway have got them up, 13 to 10. It's the best odds. The other companies that I've seen are 11 to 10. So 15% difference with Betway. 15% in the betting world is a lot of money, a lot of margin. Eh? So I have put down 2,500. I may put down more depending on how many beers I have on the night, but certainly going to do 2.5. I'll tell you why, Liam, because Zelim, Paul. So let's call you Rue. Is because if I was stupid enough to bet on Jake Paul, and it goes the way I know it's going to go, you're never gonna beat yourself up for betting on a sensible athlete, But if you bet on Jake Paul and you lose, you're just gonna go, oh man, why is that thinking?
Yeah, you got to look beyond the monetary thing here and think about if this bet doesn't come off, how am I going to feel? You know, how you say you'd bet on your sort of like against your home teams, kind of thinking if this bet loses, my team still wins. It's a similar kind of thing. If this bet loses, at least you didn't bet on Jake Paul.
Exactly. So you got 13 to 10, which is an attractive price. You got a professional athlete that was top 10 in 4 disciplines. You've got a guy that's grown up in the gym, that's who's been wrestling since the age of 12 or 13. I think he's been fighting in some capacity since 1998. And then you've got a guy that beat a YouTuber in a split decision. And then you've got him who knocked out an ex-NBA player. So it doesn't take a lot of science to figure out that the smart bet. And I believe that Dana White has put down a lot of cash on Ben Askren.
I think it was $1 million. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, he said I put $1 million on this.
Sure.
Yeah. But the thing I will say for Askren, everyone's pointing out the fact that he's not a striker, and he's not a striker. I don't know if you saw his video. It looks like he's trolling Jake.
Yeah.
He's like sparring with the pads, and he's like terrible, really, really slow and sluggish. So some guys are saying, maybe he's just trolling Jake.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It'd be good.
But even though he's not a striker, the reality is he's been in the ring with a lot of guys who are strikers, and who are also grapplers. Now he's coming up against this kid who says he's a boxer, and if Jake Paul can't knock Askren out, he can't switch to wrestling. He can't take him down. He can't. He can't kick the front leg. Like all he's got is his 2 arms, which kind of, in a way, may work in Askren's favor from defense point of view. Like, he's just got to go in there, clinch this guy, tie him up, slow the fight down, wear him down, get to round 5, 6.
Exactly, just go the distance.
Then, what is Jake going to have in those rounds that he didn't show in rounds 1, 2, and 3? I don't know. I don't see how. Unless it's rigged, I don't see how Askren walks away.
I mean, you made that point last time. There's that big unless it's rigged, which seems to be the case with a lot of these celebrity fights. So Granted, things aren't rigged.
Yes.
I agree with you. I think he's got the fitness and the conditioning and the know-how of a fighter.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And Jake Paul's also a boxer by definition, simply because he can't do the other things too. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Exactly.
Ben Askren can do the other things. So
Exactly.
people have said, well, he's not a specific boxer. Jake Paul's a specific boxer. But
Yeah. And people are saying, "Oh, Jake's an athlete," and you can see he's got some speed. You know, fast twitch fibers.
Yeah.
His feet move quickly. He looks like he could run. But I mean, I'm not a fighter, but how much value that adds in the ring, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see.
yeah, it's not a 100-meter sprint.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I also saw that this is going to be Askren's biggest payday. So
Yeah.
I think he got $350,000 in that fight against Robbie Lawler. I think it was UFC 235. This is going to top that. So again, I don't really know what the deal is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, to make it more interesting, I've just read that Dana White bet him. The bet's been now up to $2 million
Double.
between him and Jake Paul.
Yeah.
So fair play to Jake Paul for putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be 2 million rand poorer at the end.
Unless he knows that Askren's going down in the third. Then he's going to be hella rich.
Then there's a whole system of
Then I'll expose this for everything that it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's
it'll also make the MMA look
like a joke.
terrible.
Yeah.
which they can't afford. I think you know there's so much talk around the MMA and so much like hype around it, but it's not quite boxing. You know, and I think if something like this happens, it just really does.
Yeah, the brand damage to the MMA will be massive. It'll certainly be more than $1 million or $2 million.
Correct.
You know, Askren has to win this for respectability, for integrity, for everything that the MMA is supposed to stand for. But if you get a YouTuber who's 6'1", who's never fought professionally, because I don't consider his fights professional,
Fights, yeah.
if he beats an MMA fighter who is quite of good standing in the MMA, it exposes the MMA for not exactly the toughest thing in the world, and does more for boxing than it does for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so have you changed your mind on any of your bets?
No.
No, not at all.
Like you said,
those
the fact
odds.
that it's 8 rounds, for me, Askren, unless Jake has got this heavyweight thunder punch that nobody can eat,
Yeah.
I don't see how Askren doesn't win this.
No. And I've seen a headline that says that Masvidal teaches Jake Paul how to knock him out in 4 seconds. Yeah, and come out with a flying knee.
Yeah.
He won't be expecting that in a boxing. But I'm pretty sure that's an automatic disqualification.
Yeah.
So there you have it again, folks. It's for us. It's laughable that this event is going on. Don't be too swayed by the Nate Robinson knockout. Most of you out there watching this could knock Nate Robinson out, and most of you out there can beat most YouTubers in a fight. I mean, by the very nature, they sit behind their computer spewing out vitriol.
Okay.
So my money's on Ben Askren. It's the smart bet to make. If I lose, I'd rather lose with Ben Askren than try to make 50% return on my money with a YouTuber.
That's the way to put it too.
Absolute no-brainer. Thanks, guys, for coming in, all right?
Thanks, guys.